Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is November 9th, 2021, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of today, Tesla gaps down after Elon Musk makes a mention of the fact that he's going to sell 10% stake out of Tesla. But first, looking at the major economic events of the day, two events coming out of the United States, starting out at 5:30 South African time, we have a monthly PPI number, and then that's followed at 6 p.m. South African time with Fed Chairman Powell continuing speaking. Now, looking at the various markets, the U.S. dollar weakens versus the major pairs in terms of the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, both trading sideways pretty much. Commodities, gold gains, while oil pretty much unchanged. Tesla selling off, that is in terms of the stocks. And lastly, Bitcoin trades to new highs once again. So we're going to take a look at these in just a moment. So we're going to take a look here at the Aussie USD and a 1 hour chart just to give us perspective here. And we're pretty much flatlining here, but okay, the dollar did get weaker here versus the major pairs just slightly. If we look at the GBP USD also right there, we had this nice little bounce finally after selling off to 134.20-ish level. It bounced to 135.60-ish level. That's a decent bounce. The question is whether or not it's a dead cat bounce, okay? Because we pretty much hit a soft spot right here at 34, and that is a support level. Now looking at the majors, okay, first looking at Commodities Gold, traded to 1828. It's just trading within the range, okay? It gained slightly, but not much doing here. Oil didn't do so much either, just trading at 82.42, so really not much doing here. Where most of the action is happening is in the Dow Jones. Look at that. It's still very strong, 36,315, and not giving it up, okay? Holding its line, holding its line, holding its line. The question is whether or not it's going to sustain this area or it's going to sell off, because the stocks are not going higher, and that's when usually there's a sell-off. Looking at the stock market, the NASDAQ, all-time record highs, just hanging out here, okay, at this area. Question is, again, is it going to sustain it or is it going to sell off? Now, looking at Apple, just flatlining, okay? If we look at Facebook, same story, flatlining. The big news is Tesla, okay? Tesla had that gap down yesterday. Let's look at a 1 hour chart. And then, you know, kind of brought itself up but never sustained the filling in the gap. So this may be a sell-off for Tesla, as most of this is being powered by brokers, or not brokers, but rather traders, you know, pushing the stock a little bit higher. So that's something to consider also today. Now, lastly, looking at Microsoft, this is really the one that's really important, okay? If you want to see the direction of the markets, you have to keep in mind what Microsoft is doing. Microsoft is relatively strong here at 336 on its highs, and that's something to keep aware of. Now, looking at Bitcoin, trading at 67,950, all-time record highs, and it's there. It's sustaining itself. It just needs to find footing, okay? It's breaking out, but, you know, just small, okay? It just needs to find footing, and I believe that, you know, if it did have a more normal graph, I would be a little bit more positive about it, but it's like spiking up, you know? It's not like, you know, going across, you know, just a healthy line. It's literally just going up straight in the, you know, to the stratosphere, okay? So those normally are followed by situations where there's a major sell-off afterwards. So that's something to consider as well. If we compare it to the Dow Jones, you see it's just gradually every day going up, and it's just gradually continuing. It has some days that it comes down, but it gradually goes back up. Has some days that it's going down, but gradually. I mean, you could see it. You could clearly see it across the room that it's just continuously going like that. Whereas when you have these spikes, like you have in Bitcoin, or you have with some of the other, you know, kind of cryptocurrencies where you just have a spike, those are usually followed with a correctional move. So that's something to consider if we look at that later today. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.